Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be playing Alien Crossfire. This is a expansion to the original Sid Meiers Alpha Centauri, and it is a pretty old game. It comes from 1999. I think that's when the expansion came out. I'm not quite sure, but it is definitely a classic in the genre, and it has a lot of unique quirks that make it quite different from some of the more modern 4X games such as Civilization 6 or even Beyond Earth, which is this game is a precursor to. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Going to start the game, and I want to keep this so you guys can see the menu options. We're going to try to play through this entire game. I have been having a little bit of difficulty with my computer. The power supply has been going out, so I have been waiting for a new power supply to arrive in the mail. And this is one of the games that my computer can still handle without my video card working, because my power supply is not able to power my video card. So we're going to go ahead and keep this pretty standard. I have these... last time I set this up I had these random, and we're going to go ahead and just play random. I don't care who I get. I've played this game a lot, and especially when I was younger, this was one of the games that, kind of got me into the strategy genre. So I'm pretty comfortable playing any of these factions. We're just going to go ahead and do random, just like that. Random. And we're going to go and see who we get. Alpha Prime. Now, I'm not quite sure. I'm not going to do the tour. I'm not quite sure who I am. Let's see. Maybe it'll tell me. No matter. We'll figure it out. So we're going to get started. They start us off with a colony pod and a scout patrol. So we're going to go ahead and pop our scout patrol and try to find a nice little area to settle. And we'll go ahead and stick that just like so. And this is anybody who's seen any of their 4X games or watched any kind of Civilization or played any Civilization is going to be pretty familiar with these. Now these are unique to Alpha Centauri, and these are the aliens that infest the planet. They are indigenous creatures, and they participate in the psi combat, which you just saw right there, that little swirly over your unit. So instead of being like a typical unit where the weapon damage and the armor of the unit is what affects the combat effectiveness, it is instead the morale and the discipline of the unit, because it is a psychic warfare, and throughout the game there'll be little bits of flavor text that'll explain that to us. So we're going to go ahead and just pop down here a little bit. I think this is a nice place to settle. If you look, we have a little bit of ocean. The area down here is wet, and we have some rocks that we can use for mining, and that's where we're going to set up our first city, I think. Our scout patrol's done. I don't think we're going to need more than one garrison right now. So let's go ahead and see what we have available to produce. Now we can do a network node, which is similar to a library in Civilization. It just increases the amount of research potential. We can make another colony pod, or we can make another garrison. So I think we're going to start with another colony pod. This game has a lot of city spam. Oh look, we found a monolith. And these are kind of like... the pods, the things that I have been picking up, the little black things on the ground, those are like the villages, but these are like another form of the villages in Civilization, where you can either get unit upgrades, or a lot of good things can happen. It can heal your unit, things like that, but then also bad things can happen. So let's see what happens if we get a good one or a bad one. Yeah, and see, this monolith increased our unit's veterancy, so now he is discipline status. So we're going to settle down here. We are not the first ones to make a settlement, but we're probably like turn 3, turn 4, something like that. Alright, so that is all set up to good go, and they give you a little bit of resources. The colony pods, I guess, carry enough resources to make a 1-power garrison unit, so he will go ahead and be completed next turn. And just in case we get any kind of attacks, we'll stick him in here just for now. And the turn goes in and auto-completes when you have no more orders to issue, so... that unit is now done, and we'll put him on garrison in this city. Now over here we picked up a Unity rover, which is a scouting unit. The pods are supposed to be from the Unity spaceship, which we flew over on, me and the other factions in the game. And I'll go ahead and send this guy out to scout, and then I'll bring... so now I have an opportunity to attack. Now I think there's 2 things that I can teach you guys about how attacking works in this game from this interaction. The first is that your movement, the amount of movement that you've spent actually affects your combat effectiveness. So if I was to, say, attack this guy... Oh, I guess it doesn't apply to vehicles. But if I was using an infantry, he would take a penalty to fighting after having moved. The other thing that I wanted to tell you guys is that when you are engaging in psi combat, you want to be on the offensive. You get a 2 to 3 advantage if you are attacking for psi combat, because I guess the lore is that you are prepared for the psychic assault, whereas your defender is not expecting you, and so it's more psychologically terrifying. Obviously, as you progress through the game and your units get upgraded, you can specialize units to be very good at defense against psi attack as well and use them as garrisons, but for now, we do not have that technology. Alright, so I'm looking at the same issue as the other city. I don't have very much that I want to build, so I think I'm going to go ahead and put in a lab right here. And the reason why is because if I use too many of my population to expand, every time you make a colony pod it takes 1 pop from your city, I won't be able to later on produce the formers of the other buildings I'm going to need for my economy. So I'll use the capital city to expand, and then I will use this for more of a research base. And that's how I'm planning on specializing these cities to begin with. So we're going to continue looking for those colony pods, or, oh look! So we found, oh never mind, this is just a pop-up. But we did find a unique, it's kind of like a world wonder for Alpha Centauri, and we will go explore that here in a second. I'm going to stick with Explore and Discover. This is going to allow us to expand and just generally push our scientific bounds. And let's see what we've discovered over here. So this is the Unity wreckage. And I'm not exactly sure if this gives a tile bonus or something. We can find out by looking. You can look down here and see. It doesn't really say that it gives any kind of particular bonus, but we'll go ahead and look around, poke around, see if maybe we can find some more of those colony pods, and we will continue to scout out our what looks to be an island based off of the grid in the background. Oh, and our faction is the Cybernetic Consciousness. It says it down there. Pick that up. Hey, and so we have met our first faction, and yes, this is one of the things that I absolutely love about this game, how when you're interacting with the AI, it's more of a conversation through the view screen, or you know, have to open up the channel in order to have a conversation. So shall I put him through? Yeah, let's have a discussion with him. We've just met him. No reason to be mad. Let's see what he wants. He wants to do a trade for technology. So if I give him information networks, he will give me Biogenics 1. That seems like it's a pretty fair deal. So yeah, let's go ahead and make that trade. And that'll just kind of advance.
Sacred, but we also know the foundation of life consists of a stream of codes, not so different from the successive frames of a watch vid.
And that's another thing about the technologies, is that they all have these little quotes. And if I'm going to post a lot of these videos, so if you guys want me to stop and let the quotes play all the way through, then I will more than gladly do that for you guys. And then he wants to trade me his world map for applied physics. I'm going to go ahead and take that deal so that I can kind of get a better idea of my strategical surroundings. So, bam, he's going to be... And then, yeah, so that's it. Now he wants to unite me. I'm not really sure that I want to unite right now. Okay, so he wants me to move my units out. That's fine. So I didn't actually know that I was engaging his territory until now, so I'll go ahead and back out. I don't want to encroach on his land right now. And this right here is a nutrient pod. This is going to increase the resources that a city might gain from for food, and that will allow growth. I think it's food, or it might be something else. It might be called something else, I should say, but that's the general principle of what it is. Hey, so we got a mining laser. That's cool. Alright, so what is a mining laser for you? Like, okay, no, okay, gotcha. So this is just an upgrade on my weapon strength. I get a +1 upgrade on my weapon strength.
With a gasping death to humans and most animals.
Oops, so this is going to allow us to get terraformers and
high nitrate content of the soil. And the
we'll unlock the weather paradigm, and that's like a wonder from the Civilization series. I'm going to keep going back to that because I feel like most of the people who have watched my channel so far have been familiar with Civilization. And if not, then you guys have probably at least heard of it. And then, yeah, this is another really cool aspect about this game. I don't see it in any other 4X genre at all, is that you can actually change your units and swap out different chassis and different weapons. So this is actually an equipment, and I can put it on a chassis. For example, I could use a river chassis if I had that explored, but I don't right now. And then later on, I'll unlock shielding, so I can also put shielding on. But right now, this is all I can do, so we'll just go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to continue to explore and discover, just because we're in the early game. I want to be able to push out my borders as much as possible and get as many productive centers up as possible. He's building a network node, he's building a colony pod, and let's look how fast he'll finish. He's going to grow in 4 turns, and he'll make the colony pod in 5. So we'll have 1 turn where he'll be at 2 pop, and that'll be just enough for us to get this out. That's fine, so we're going to go ahead and say okay to that. And then let's pop over here and see what this unit wants. He's going to see what's in this particular container, and you're going to see what's in that container, and you're going to see what's in that container.
Pod recovered.
Okay, so we get another scout. Wait, a scout chopper. That's a flying unit. Heck yeah. Alright, so he's got 8 out of 8 fuel. We'll probably want to bring him back to base. And we'll pop him down to this next base. And basically, the way that air units work is they have amount of movement points down here, and it's 8 out of 8 for that unit, and that means that he can move 8 squares before he crashes because he runs out of fuel. So you can actually really only move him 4 squares before you're going to have to either plan to turn back around or continue going forward to another base. But that'll let me keep an eye on any kind of military maneuvers within my borders, and it will be an invaluable unit in the long run, just because it's one of those units that you don't get too many flying units early in the game, and it's one of those units that kind of gives me an advantage. So I was really lucky to actually win that fight since he was on defense. I think it's because this unit is disciplined, which means that he has increased strength against mindworms and other kind of psychic attacks. And then we got another one right here. Let's see if I can actually attack. I can't. I don't have enough movement points. So I'm going to check out to see what's down here. It looks like the Gaians are actually right here. I can do 2 more moves. And then I gotta go back. Okay, that was zone of control. That was a zone of control issue. I wasn't able to move in front of him, so I was kind of worried that I wasn't gonna make it back. All right, and that's the edge of the Gaians' borders right there.
If our society seems more nihilistic than that of previous eras.
And that unlocked probe teams. Probe teams are kind of like spies. We're not going to go too heavily on those because we don't have a lot of money to pay for their operations at the moment. And this is a form of government that we can change. So if you look right here, this is the bonuses that we have. Right now we actually have a -1 for growth. And this will give us +2 for growth, so that'll counteract the -1 and put us in the positive, but it will lower our efficiency by 2 points, and I don't actually want to do that. So we're going to go ahead and say no, and the efficiency is how effective your cities are from getting resources from the tiles. And I don't want to interfere with that because that's going to hamper growth. And again, we're just going to continue focusing on exploring and discovering. So I'm just going to try to get as much as I can out of this unit. Service ship, that's a flying ship, so I guess it doesn't really matter. And yeah, that's it. So I'll go ahead and send him back there. That's about the distance that the scout can go on that side, and it looks like I'm kind of getting boxed into this island right here. I didn't have too much area. It looks like this is the ocean. You can kind of tell by the grid how it's not raised. Alright, cool. So this is our first built colony pod, and this will allow us to expand again. I'm looking to see where would be a potential spot for it. The computer says it's over here. I don't really see any resources or anything that makes that too special. I think I'm going to stick to this side of the mountain. It looks like there's a heavy rainfall, which will increase the productivity of our farms. Oh, okay, cool. So this is that's awesome. This is basically telling me where the other AI is. I guess that's what the benefit of finding this Unity wreckage is that as you go around and move your units around it gives you little bonuses. So this is where all of the AIs are. I wonder if it gives me comm links. It doesn't. So there's nothing I can do about that. But oh, and apparently we've met Rose. She'll give me 10 energy credits for giving me a comm channel. That's fine. She'll get it anyway if I don't. So I'm going to give it to her. And she's trying to threaten me. Oh, sorry. She's trying to get a free technology by telling me one of her bases has trouble right now. I'm going to go ahead and give this to her. Because if I do, maybe I'll ask her if she will trade me social psych. Because that'll give me another... Nope, she won't do it. She can't trust me with that information. Well... I'll go ahead and give it to her anyway. That'll make her a little bit more friendly towards me, and a lot of the contending with the AI in this game is just bribing them, giving them free stuff. Yeah, Treaty of Friendship would allow us to trade, so I'll go ahead and do that. And there we go. Yes. There's nothing that Nope, we're not going to put him on defense. Oh, maybe we will for now. We're going to heal him up. And if I look down here, this is green. This is green, but it has fungus on it. I'll have to clear that out. I'm probably going to pop the city down here to this river. And then I'll just bring that garrison over. So, there we go. And he's getting enough food so that he can grow, so that's all we need to care about. He's producing a scout patrol, which will allow us to garrison that city, and that's good. And that should be it. Yes, that's exactly what I want him to do. But now, since we have the capacity to make formers, we're going to start making formers. And these are our worker units. These will allow us to increase the productivity of our tiles and increase the overall effectiveness of our colony. I don't want another colony pod. That's not a good idea. I will go ahead and go to formers, and there we go. Oh, this is violating his territory, as you can see right here. But I'm going to go ahead and risk it, just because I want to see what's down there. Yes, let's see what he wants. Hey, he wants me to move my troops out. Sure. Alright, so everybody is producing something useful. He's making a lab, and it's got a while to go, but he's going to be working on that for a little bit. And then we got 2 formers coming, so that's fine.
Once a man has changed the relationship between himself.
Alright. So that's basically giving us the scout chassis so that we can increase the strength of our units. And then I think I want to actually switch around my science. Let me see where that is. HQ. And research priorities. There we go. We're going to switch it around now because I wanted to get the speeders, and I think we have enough technology in order to expand our cities. So we're going to go ahead and do build conquer. That'll increase our wealth and give us actual upgrades to our military units. That way these AI don't become more powerful than us and crush us. So that's pretty much the extent to which I can explore. I guess I can send this scout down here, and I'm just going to be colonizing this island right now, and then focusing on what I'm going to do about my neighbors.
Production complete.
Alright, so our first worker is done. He's going to, cities in this game, I should say, automatically repeat units, or if you put them on a building, they will just go ahead and stockpile energy next. So you have to pay close attention to what these cities are doing. It's not going to prompt you and annoy you every single time the city wants to build something if you end up playing this game. I'm going to go ahead and do recycling tanks, and it tells you down here what it does. It gives you bonus resources, just +1 to everything, being food, production, and energy. It's like 40 turns, but I expect that'll speed up once the pop grows next turn, which will be 1 turn. And then the former, if we look, he is working on the obelisk, and I might be able to upgrade that. I don't think I actually can, but we're gonna, since we're getting another population right now, we just did, we're gonna go ahead and upgrade this particular tile. And this tile, if you look down here, and I can explain to you how tile upgrading works as well. If you look down here where my mouse is, it says rolling and moist, in which what this means is how productive is this tile going to be? A moist tile is going to produce more food than an arid tile will, for example, and a rainy tile will produce more food than a moist tile. And then you have, I think it's hilly or rough, I think is what it's called, and then there's rolling, and then there's flat. And rough will produce the most minerals, rolling will produce one less, and then flat will produce one less than that. And then also the elevation right here, it'll tell you it's at 108 meters. For every 1,000 meters you are elevated, it gives you +1 to your energy production on solar cells. So right now it's kind of a low valley, it doesn't give me any bonuses to energy, so we're going to put a mine in a farm right here. And if you look terraform, and we can just tell him to do farm, mine, road.
Turn complete.
Oh, it's a good thing I sent the scout down here. There's another pod that I can
Production
recover.
complete. Mod recovered.
Oh, wow, that's crazy. So that is really interesting. I've never seen that before. But this particular event was an earthquake, and that made this mountain. So all of a sudden, we have a mountain. They are going to affect the rainfall patterns. So one side of the mountain will be arid, and the other side will be dry. And then we'll also get a efficiency on our solar panels if we put them on top of that mountain. So that was a almost 2,000 meter increase. And now all of a sudden, you can see arid, and then rainy. So let's see if that expanded. Oh, it allowed us to get this colony pod as well, because that one was in the ocean, and now all of a sudden it's on land. So we'll pick that up. We don't need more formers. We're going to go ahead and put in more recycling tanks, just kind of increase our productivity. And then again, we're going to do, based off of this tile, it's rolling and rainy, so we're going to put in a farm and a mine, and that will give us the most benefit. So farm, mine, road. And those formers are working happily away. I'm gonna go ahead and keep these videos to about 20 minutes. We're actually at 21 minutes right now, almost 22. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it here. If you guys like this and want to see more, please like it. I love Alpha Centauri, and this is something that I can produce right now. So I'm gonna stick with it and keep making these games. So if you guys liked it, like I said, just go ahead and leave me some support. It really helps me out. And otherwise, thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a great day. Take care and bye bye.